and welcome back to Movie of the Week. And the movie this week was Elf from 2003, so if you haven't watched it, watch it now. If you're new here, we're doing like a movie every week, and you guys can comment below your thoughts. At the end of every video, I say the movie for next week, so you can follow along. So Elf, this is kind of, I'm posting this around Christmas, so this is kind of the Christmas one, Christmassy holidays. I am Jewish, but there's like, let's say like 5 overall like Hanukkah movies in the world, and then there's like 5,000 Christmas movies. And I can't really tolerate Christmas movies really, but there's only a few Christmas movies I like, and Elf is one of them. And I feel like I watch this movie like every other year, so I've watched this movie a lot. I probably watched it over a dozen times in my life. And it is a good Christmas movie, and even when I rewatched it yesterday, I love it. Like, even though I'm Jewish, I love it. It's just good. And obviously this is a Christmas movie that has a bigger budget than a lot of other Christmas movies, because those are kind of easy to make, easy to fill out, just create whatever else. But this had a bigger budget and, obviously had bigger actors and everything. So it's kind of, when you get down to it, it's like a story about like someone who is adopted and trying to find his way back home to his family who don't accept him. But they kind of made it where he's like an elf. He was raised by elves, so it's, Christmas spirit. And it's funny because Will Ferrell, like, he's supposed to be playing like a 30-ish-year-old person. He was like about 36. He is also very tall, so it's like crazy, not only is he like not regular human height, he's like extra, to these elves. And I think they also probably, with editing, made the elves seem even smaller. But it's just like a sweet movie, and it's kind of crazy because Zooey Deschanel was also kind of like 23, but she doesn't even look like her. A lot of people point that out, but that's just because she was blonde in this movie. So but the scene when she's like singing, he's like in the shower, it's like a classic scene. And when he comes to New York and is kind of like running around, eating gum off Subway and stuff, like I read once that it was just like Will Ferrell in like an elf suit doing those things, and then those were like people's reactions. But maybe that was Borat. Well, that is Borat. But then, I don't know, I think also they did that with Elf, but I'm not exactly sure. When was Borat? Because, when you think about it, it kind of feels some similarities to that. This is just Christmas. But it's clearly like a dad who's obviously on the naughty list. Like his son that he raised now, he neglects him. He was wearing like was it Only Jets? But he was like wearing a football jersey the entire time. And then it's crazy, like the mom was so sweet, like finding out like your husband has a son he doesn't know about. She had such a positive attitude with it, which, like in the other day, like it is a positive, cool thing, like, no harm, no foul. But like, I don't know, I think I'd have been a little bit more stunned, a little bit taken back. I don't know if I would have been as homey and welcomely as her. But it's interesting that everyone thought like, he had some kind of mental illness or like whatever. But like, really, it's just kind of like he was raised by elves, which, in the end, this is like, as I said, bigger budget Christmas movie. So, and technically it's like a kid's movie because it was a kid's movie. And we talk a lot about here that kids' movies sometimes are really, really well written because they have multiple writers, they have multiple people looking at it and seeing how it will affect kids. And I think it's telling kids like, if you're different, like you'll be okay. It's okay to be different. I think they were, trying to get the message to be. He was eating very unhealthy, very unhealthy. The scene with the snowball fight and his snowball skills are very great. And so it's kind of crazy that the dad who like hates Christmas, hates a lot of things, I feel like he hates kids. He works at a children's like publishing book thing or whatever. I don't know exactly what they did, because it's like, are they a publisher but then they're also like writing the books? Like it just didn't seem clear, but it's kind of crazy. Like that just seems like so not his personality. So it's kind of crazy that like what he did. And this is what's crazy is Peter Dinklage is in this movie. Hopefully I pronounced his last name correctly, but he's in this movie, and this is kind of obviously before Game of Thrones, so before he was really big. And so, I've watched this movie so many times, like Dean put it together that was him. Like I watched Game of Thrones in college, but I'm sure I watched it at least once during college. So it's crazy that like I never like put it together till now that like that was him. But obviously it looks different without a beard. And so, of course in the scene, buddies like, you know, calling him an elf, they like, you know, they did that on purpose, like having it be someone who's short so that they could, you know, have that joke, which like isn't a joke. It's just like it had to push the story further, like him and his dad. And you know, it seemed like his dad was starting to accept him, starting to be okay with him. And then, but obviously there has to be some crazy ending where lives are in danger, things are happening. So Chris Santa's sleigh crashes, and then the dad and the brother realize that Santa's real, and then they have to get the sleigh going. And so they have to, you know, Christmas spirit. So then everyone's singing. But also when he's like reading the book aloud, like I start crying, like when he starts listing what all the kids want, like I start crying. And then that like reporter is so funny when he like read what the reporter wanted. It's so funny. But yeah, it has an overall happy ending, and it's a good Christmas movie. As a Jewish person, I'm saying that, but you know, I wish someone could make a, you know, it doesn't even have to be Hanukkah, there's so many other Jewish holidays, but I wish someone made a movie like that, like we have a Hebrew Hammer, but that's not for kids. It's not mainstream. So I just like want more. But Elf is a movie I will show my future kids, and I think it's a good movie overall. And you know, for a second it makes you think that Santa's real. So thank you guys for watching. Comment your thoughts below about Elf. And the movie for next week is Dead Poets Society from 1989. So comment below about Elf. Watch Dead Poets Society for next week. You guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye.